hour ago before we were supposed to start recording. Thanks, Hunter. He's not even here yet.
Nope.
I hear my roommate call me out. She's like, Connor, come here. I was like, what's up? She's like, there's a duck in the front yard. And I was like, what? She's like, there's a duck in the front yard. So lo and behold, I run out, little fucking duck just by himself, just wandering around, minding his own business, not paying us no mind. And I was like, why is this so weird? And then it dawned on me that I hadn't seen a duck in 5 years.
What? What?
I live in the desert.
Because it's Vegas.
There's no fucking body around me.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any ducks other than like, I
mean that makes sense, but I don't understand how even in media you didn't see a duck. Like I don't understand.
It's not that I hadn't ever laid eyes on any kind of visual representation of a duck.
The past 5 years, you haven't even seen a duck.
I haven't seen a real life duck in 5 years.
Okay, well, there's a difference. It's
IRL, Eric, IRL.
I don't understand your tweet speak.
I saw a picture of one once. I'm Connor McGraw, and this is going to be an After Dark. There's supposed to be 4 of us, just 3 of us so far. Who else is here?
Arlen Haro, as usual.
Eric Fedorchak, waiting to be canceled by Netflix.
Just jumping right in.
So,
huh?
Yeah, let's gloss over that real quick. For the second week in a row? Is it second week in a row?
Yeah.
The second week in a row, we started a show on the breaking news that a Marvel Netflix show was canceled. Luke Cage just got canceled.
Yep.
Which
is weird. Because why not just announce this last week? That's that I don't understand.
I'm thinking there's deals going on that we're not aware of.
Maybe. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like this throws a lot of stuff off. Like, because we know Punisher season 2. Last I heard it was shooting. It's probably
that show.
done.
I was gonna say, if that season wasn't on its way, that show would be dead in the water.
Yeah,
Yep.
DOA.
Yep.
And Jessica Jones season 3 is shooting, so we know it's safe until it airs.
And then it'll be dropped like a bad habit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
So yeah.
I have a hard time believing this is because Netflix didn't have enough viewers in whatever amount of time on it. I think it's honestly they're just like, meh, we'll take that check, thanks Disney.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things it could be. I would say it's brand confusion, but that would be Disney's reasoning for wanting to take it away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That would not be Netflix's reason for canceling it. They would want to hold on to it and use it to fuck over Disney if there's really...
You would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because we know that the writing's on the wall. They're going to very aggressively be going at each other in the next few years. So why would you give up this card to play? I don't understand it. It's very weird.
It's almost like
I think something got traded.
It's a version of the Sony story, but instead of like being belligerent for 20 years, they just caved.
Well, I think it could also be Netflix being like, oh, we've had some real success with our own original programming or stuff we bought from other people that isn't Disney. Let's just go out on our own. Let's just do it on our own. We don't need Disney anymore. We don't need any Marvel stuff.
Yes.
But why not keep it and earn even more money?
Like, critically, the Marvel stuff isn't their best stuff. But
no.
Can you think of anything outside of the Marvel stuff that has had as big of a cultural penetration other than, House of Cards, maybe? There's maybe 1 or 2 of these other shows that they've really hit the ball out of the park, where people really love them, and they talk about them.
Oh, you mean like Lilyhammer?
Right, yeah, Lilyhammer. Everybody's favorite show.
Making a Murderer season 2 is out now, and that's probably going to make some waves, like the first season did. Hey, everybody! Spoilers for Making a Murderer season 2. He fucking did it. All right.
Right. Yeah. Well,
that's not a real spoiler, but that's just how I felt about that. Hey, Hunter, you here? Holy shit!
God damn it!
That's about right.
He's so drunk he can't even hear us.
He's like,
But no, but yeah, I get what you mean by making murder. But even that was the first season was a big deal, and I don't know if the second season's gonna be as big of a deal.
The second season actually has a brand new angle where apparently this what's his nuts? I can't remember this guy's name.
Stephen Avery.
Yeah, Stephen. He has a new attorney who apparently has some like brand new evidence.
Yeah.
Apparently, she's trying to implicate this woman's ex-boyfriend as being very suspicious and not giving an alibi the night she disappeared and being the first one to point everybody towards her car.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that story has spawned so many other things. Like, I don't know if either of you have heard of Edward Wayne Edwards. He's a guy who, there's a cop in L.A. who thinks that he's the Zodiac killer, but he also believes that he killed Stephen Avery's girlfriend.
But I am the Zodiac killer.
Oh my god. Well, R.I.P. ears. It was fun.
R.I.P. headphones.
How is it?
I'm a little drunk, everybody. What's up?
How is it you're a little bit drunk and somehow your computer works perfectly? Any other time it sounds like you're transmitting from Mars.
Because I'm eating the microphone.
Yeah, you're really close to the microphone. Hey, Hunter, Luke Cage got canceled.
I know, I saw. That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's really dumb. I don't understand
it. These shows, like, because
maybe Connor, you shouldn't be saying that you dislike them so much.
I put that fucking vibe out there.
They're listening. The execs are listening to our
maybe.
show.
It's just one Netflix executive, like, in his office by himself. He's like, this guy's right.
There's one guy at Netflix. There's one guy at CW. They go out to coffee after work. It's a real fun time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't understand it. Like, again, it's not like Luke Cage did so badly.
No, it had the same thing as Iron Fist did, where the second season like exponentially improved on everything.
Yeah, and Luke Cage leaves us off on a much bigger note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like you were going somewhere with that, and it hasn't been that long since the second season dropped. Like, I don't know what the thought process is here.
I don't get it
Unless
at all.
There's something else they're doing.
I mean, there's a lot of things. Part of me thinks that Jessica Jones is only safe because they were already in production.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Guy named Mickey Mouse
they were already in
walks
production.
on set and goes like, "Shut it down, shut it down forever."
This is now.
And I guess, I mean, if you're looking at it from a PR perspective, Jessica Jones is the one that you don't shut down immediately. Yeah. I guess. I
don't know.
No, do it. Fuck it, do it.
Fuck it, do it live. Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't understand this. I don't understand this decision making. Like, my only assumption is somebody made a deal, but again, Netflix and Disney, it's about to get very contentious between the two of them in the next few years. So I don't see them making a deal for anything. I don't see them making any kind of trade.
Yeah, but you could argue the same thing with Disney and Marvel, or not Marvel, and Sony, like with Spider-Man rights.
Fair.
Like, they threw enough money at them that they're like, all right, we'll do it. Like, so...
Yeah, but that was desperation. That was like,
well, we don't know where Netflix is really, because they don't tell anybody anything. So this,
but again, like, I feel like the equivalent to this would be like Netflix being like, "Hey, Marvel, come actually run these shows instead of assigning Jeff Loeb to do it. Just like actually take control of this material."
Yeah.
I want to say I read it or heard it recently that something along the lines of like Jeff Loeb has a very contentious relationship with some producers.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I do believe it. The other option is that this is, and I can't remember one of you said it, that Netflix is in charge of actually canceling these things. The other thing might be that Netflix doesn't want to work with ABC television anymore.
That too.
Yeah.
Which is probably a big part
or like
of it.
maybe having like the fucking mouse looming behind you all the time is just like, it probably makes the company feel a little uneasy and just probably wants Disney to take their shit and go away.
Yeah.
That might be. And they have for a while been trying to get away from other people's bigger properties and sort of investing on things on their own and not having to share the pot with anybody. So I guess on that level it makes sense, but still, I really don't understand these decisions now. They really don't make sense at this moment.
Yeah. Before we get into the speed round stuff, do we want to do a quick little CW opinion for people who have watched it all?
I haven't watched any yet.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna binge.
save it, but we can use that to sort of segue because our we don't have any speed round stories for this week.
Okay.
So we just have main stories, but we can just talk about Batwoman and the other like pictures and stuff that we've seen from future stuff.
Well, yeah, there's the CW shows are about to get very busy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Also, apparently that Superman show rumor, I guess, was debunked.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I guess the source,
I believe
the
it.
source of the article is like really fucking shady. So
Well, that and Warner Brothers doesn't have enough money to pay for that ass. So
Yeah, god damn it.
we can't get you off the ground, Mr. Heckwood.
Also, like I've said this before, I don't buy that they'll put two shows on that have the same basic
Yeah, it'd be a little
idea.
strange.
Yeah,
Besides, I like it better when he shows up for these events.
yeah.
yeah, well, when they use him sparingly, which means they're going to rate him better, that means he's a better character to have. But if he was to have his own show, like it would fall into the same problems that Supergirl has, I think.
Oh
Guaranteed.
God!
Yeah.
Guaranteed. It would be the same thing, just with Tyler Hoechlin
Mm-hmm.
and his ass.
Sweet booty.
The Batwoman stuff is all related to this Elseworld stuff that's coming up, and
Yeah.
all the pictures from Elseworld just have me giggling.
It's that
They're great.
first picture that they released of Ruby Rose as Batwoman, like they went for it. Like I was not
did.
sure what to expect, but man, they did a great job.
I'm also
They really
stunned
did.
at how well Stephen Amell looks in the Flash suit. It's almost like he should have been
It's
cast
really
as Barry
good.
Allen.
It's
Yeah.
I'm really curious though to hear Grant do the Arrow voice. I hope he does the Arrow voice.
Poor Grant, like, you put Amell in that suit and he looks like a real fucking superhero, and then you put Grant in that suit and he looks like a fucking like
He's in a high school play.
he looks like a series of pool noodles, like attached to a torso. Like he's so fucking gangly.
Yeah. Hey man, don't be a hater. Don't make him feel bad about the way his body looks.
No, I understand, because he went through a lot of shit, like, before that
Yeah.
super deal.
Yeah.
'Cause people were like, "You're too skinny," blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
he's a small man. You can't help that.
He's a
exactly.
skinny boy.
But like in regards to
Yeah.
suit design, like you shouldn't have went with something that makes him look so tiny.
Yeah.
It's I feel like it's
It is
mostly spandex,
It's like a
which
fucking
is a
body
bad
condom with a
decision.
bike helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have given him like muscle padding, like gone fucking Michael Keaton with it a little
Yeah.
bit. Not quite John Wesley Shipp, but
Oh my god.
just a little
It's like
bit.
John Wesley Shipp has an extra like 50 pounds on him just from that fucking suit. It's so bulky and weird looking.
It is. It's fantastic though. I love it. But yeah, and some of the other CW stuff has been fun. I didn't see the picture, but you described Ollie in the suit,
Yeah, it's
fighting
it's,
Supergirl.
It's Flash Oliver with Supergirl and Superman. They're all triple teaming something,
Oh, okay, yeah. But
which is
still,
just
that's-
really
that's
cool.
great.
So I'm like, wait, hold on. You're telling me Supergirl, Superman, and the Flash? I don't care who's under that hood, are going to be on screen together. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well, it's going to be Ollie Flash, which we've all discussed this. He's going to like destroy all crime within like a day. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna.
Yeah.
Like there's I said it in the chat.
You
he's gonna
failed
go
the
back
city.
and kill.
Wait, I didn't do
Eobard.
anything. 2 weeks from now, you will.
He's just going to be
I
vibrating
am
his
God.
hand through people left and right.
It'll be
He
great.
just keeps his
Yeah.
hands on perpetual vibrate mode.
Even when he's out of the suit, he's just always
Just
ready.
raises them into people. He's like, just don't bother me. All right.
I just want to eat this goddamn hot dog. Leave me alone.
Where's
Yeah,
my
he'd be constantly
where's my
eating.
weird son?
My ageless son.
My
Um,
my timeless
my
revenant,
goddamn-
my revenant of a son.
Well, no, now his son is just going to have brain damage from him shaking him violently with the Speed Force. Just, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But yeah,
Leave
I
him
don't
alone.
think, I think we know less about this crossover than we did last year's.
We do, which I'm okay with.
That's probably because someone's gonna fucking die.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be Kara.
They're gonna kill poor Martin Stein somehow again.
No, they're gonna kill Kid Flash. I'm calling it now. They're gonna.
Well,
Yeah.
That
actually,
would be dreadful because they kept saying
Because
like
he's already.
they kept saying like, oh, he'll be, he can come back and he will be back, but
Yeah.
anytime soon.
an idea would be they might actually kill off. Is it Lana Luthor? Is her name?
Oh.
Yeah,
Since Lex is going to be showing up in season, is this 4 of Supergirl?
Lena.
Yeah, Lena.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They might kill Lena.
I
Yeah,
can see them
so
killing her.
I always make fun of Alan for his Smallville attachments, but I think it's all Smallville fans because like every now and then I see weird like Smallville fans start petition to blank. And now they're all apparently trying to get Michael Rosenbaum to play Luthor again. I'm like, you guys are just stuck in the same 10 years, aren't you?
It's not that far off from something that they would do, though.
I feel like you put him in a different position that's kind of a wink and a nod to what he did before.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
voices things now, though.
Well, you make him Lex's dad. You make him Lionel. That's
He was also posed to have a starting career within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but then they went and fucked over the Guardians of the Galaxy film. Anyways, yeah. Anyways,
No, actually, I mean, if we're done with CW, that's a good.
yeah, that is actually a good segue. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have anything else? Any other thoughts on the CW
Nah,
stuff?
yeah, I'll see all my. You got 2 days.
Hunter, you sound like you're in another dimension. I just want to say this right now.
Because I'm lying down. Hold on.
Can't wait till you fall asleep in the middle of recording.
I'm not going to fall asleep.
You better sit the fuck up, boy.
I will.
Or
The funeral's about to begin.
But yeah,
Drive a
speaking
hard
of
bargain, boy.
a hard bargain indeed. Speaking of James Gunn and Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn will be directing what I'm calling Squad X, just because I'm not writing that out, not typing all that out. But,
This is delicious news.
it just the tears just make me so strong.
Because how could you so willfully hand like I know the argument is like DC movies are bad, so they're not competition. Guess what? They're
Right.
competition. They're perpetually competition.
Yeah.
In every arena.
yeah,
And you just handed them
and
like
you
a
just
starter.
handed them like a golden goose who is capable of producing $1 million franchises.
Yeah.
Now they might still dip it in oil and light it on fire like they did with Joss Whedon, but you never know.
But that's the thing. I think even if they do that, like James Gunn has going from trauma to working for Marvel, he knows how to work the system. So he's still, I think, going to get his stuff to shine through.
And Dave Bautista wants to come with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, he's Bane. That's a given.
Well, and quick side theory with the announcement that Vin Diesel is going to be in the Bloodshot movie. Is it Bloodshot? Deadshot, whatever it is.
Bloodshot.
Yeah,
Bloodshot.
and Sony is going to lead the way for superhero movies. From now
Sure
on.
they are, but that kind of makes me wonder if he's kind of going to step away from Marvel stuff too.
Maybe he's always had his foot in multiple worlds, though. So I don't know.
But I don't imagine Marvel would smile upon him playing another competing comic book character while doing stuff.
Yeah.
He would probably be like, yeah, I'm playing Bloodshot. And like, who is it? Who's the CEO of Disney right now?
Bob Iger.
Bob Iger's probably like, what the fuck?
Who?
He's like, who's Valiant?
We almost bought Valiant a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We decided against it.
We did?
But yeah, back to the James Gunn doing Suicide Squad. Like, so now DC gets to have their Guardians of the Galaxy movie done properly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you fires a well-liked member of your crew, people are gonna leave.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess the way to take this is like worst case scenario, James Gunn gets fired from this, but they still have his
That
script.
would suck.
And if anybody's rewatched the Scooby-Doo movies that he wrote, they're fun because of his scripts.
They're actually entertaining as hell. Like,
Dude,
Yeah.
the 2004 Dawn of the Dead remake is his script. And that is one of the best remakes I've ever seen.
That's Zack Snyder's best film.
That is the
Period.
only movie like it's a worthy remake of one of the Dead movies. It's the only one.
It definitely is.
It's fantastic. It stands on its own, even. And that Richard Cheese soundtrack,
Open up your hate and let it flow into me.
I'm curious to see how they're going to spin this outside of what's already been announced, though. Like saying, like, oh, it's a reboot, and it's not a sequel, but it's not really a reboot, even though it is a reboot, because it's just do whatever you want, James, and then we'll exert executive control at a later date.
Yeah, I feel like it's a reboot in the same way that their Batman movie that, as far as I know, actually isn't coming out, but they keep saying it is. I feel like it's a reboot in the same way that will be a reboot.
that movie's not coming out.
It's not coming out. Neither is The Flash. Just give up.
I feel like they do soft reboots.
Yeah.
In continuity reboots that give you some wiggle room.
Right.
Does that mean they're going to kill the Leto Joker? Please, are they going to kill the Leto Joker?
Please
Yep.
do.
I think he gets quietly pushed aside, and then like Joaquin Phoenix just walks in and he's like, "I've been here the whole time."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because that's automatically the better movie. Like,
Yeah.
I'm super. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm excited for a DC movie at this point.
I mean,
I'm excited as well.
I am by default always excited for them. I'm just perpetually let down by them.
I'm in a constant state of just being disappointed by everything.
At this point, they have to prove that it's actually worth my time to see it. Like
Same.
the last, I don't get excited by them anymore, just because I'm like, unless it looks like it could be interesting. Because honestly, Justice League trailers, I was like,
real quick though, did you see the news article today that someone saw the Batmobile on that set?
Yeah, and it was like a very vintage-looking Batmobile.
Yeah, that's cool as hell. I'm into that.
Okay.
Interesting. It could be really cool if they did like the 40s comic Batmobile with that big bat symbol on the front.
Big red man.
The big bat head. Yeah. It'd be fucking great. The only sad part about this whole James Gunn thing, him coming to DC, is Gavin O'Connor isn't working on it anymore, I guess. So,
well, yeah, he got booted because his original script was too close to the Birds of Prey movie they want to do, which isn't gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Anything with Margot Robbie's hands on it is apparently like 10% more likely. Still never gonna happen.
No, if Aquaman doesn't do really well for them, like I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do then. Like,
if Aquaman and Shazam fail, then they're dead. All of it's dead.
A quick take on Birds of Prey. Without sounding like a vicious racist, I don't exactly approve of the Black Canary casting, because it's more or less like, you looked at that and that's who you pictured? Like, that's strange.
Yeah. I don't know.
And if they give her a blonde wig, she's going to look super strange.
Well, I'd seen, I don't know if it was fan art or if it was actual production idea of what she'll look like, but they didn't give her a blonde wig, but they gave her like blonde highlights with extended hair, and it actually looked okay. Like, I'm guessing it was probably fan art because it looked too competent to actually be a proper DC Warner Brothers costume. So I don't know. I think there are ways to handle it that it's going to be the actress herself who proves that she can do it, and it's
not a matter of blown away by her. But right now, I'm like,
I don't know. I trust casting directors for the most part. Like at this point in the game, at least, until we've seen a trailer or anything.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, like that's why I don't understand when people got really angry about The Witcher, and them casting a black woman in that role, because it's like, you haven't seen anything.
Ciri's like a fucking genetically engineered like superhuman. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Right.
She's also not related to
Yeah.
him by blood. She could look like whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
That,
You fucking
and
fake
it's-
Witcher fans. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is fucking super exciting. And I'm hoping Warner Brothers, like, for once, please get out of the fucking way. Like,
Yeah. Let
Stop.
him
like,
do his thing.
the plate is hot. Do not touch.
Yeah.
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 Someone needs to start smacking their hand away. Can we just meddle a little? No.
No.
Yeah.
Bad.
I mean, hopefully, yeah, that's the thing. Though. Like we said, Shazam and Aquaman. If either of those fail, they're just going to make Wonder Woman movies and Batman movies from now on.
Yeah.
They're not even
And
opposed
I-
to that anymore.
I don't even know
Yeah.
if they'll do that though. That's the thing. Like I could see them being like, "All right, we're gonna step back for a little while, and we'll come back to
I
this at
wouldn't
a
e-
later date."
I like how
bad thing.
Warner Brothers is seemingly just repeating the cycle that, like, that Batman and Robin seemingly created, where it's like, yeah, we fucked up
Yeah.
pretty hard, so we're just gonna fucking back off.
So that means like a decade they're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
essentially.
I would say 'cause
I mean-
it took them another decade to get Batman off the ground because they're just like, nope, we're not touching this.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Patty Jenkins made a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I could see us having 10 Wonder Woman movies like very easily.
Oh, I was just talking about Batman.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
Yeah.
there's been some damage done to the on-screen Batman. Like,
Yeah, that's
it just, as far as like, in one end you have him as this sadistic, cold-blooded savage, and then on the other hand he's like, here I am to make quips.
Yeah, I think they'll retire
man,
Batman
that's-
for a little while.
That's gonna leave a mark. Arr.
But like literally we'll have I think we could have like 2 Wonder Woman movies in the same year. Like I could see Warner Brothers going far with it and doing some pretty crazy stuff because they're still hurting for a franchise even without DC stuff, and that Crimes Grindelwald movie doesn't look very good. So
I am so disinterested in the Fantastic Beasts universe.
yeah.
Why the fuck?
Like, and I really like Harry Potter, and that stuff just has failed to grab me.
I think it's still gonna make money regardless because
because
It
Harry
will.
Potter
girls
fans.
fucking exist.
But not $1 billion because the last one did not do that. It made not what they wanted.
It's
so
almost,
yeah.
it's almost like J.K. Rowling retcon that series into fucking oblivion, and no one cares anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
like every day J.K. Rowling gets on Twitter and continues the story that we're all locked in is a different thing altogether. Like, I heard Fantastic Beasts was like a very short book, and it's being stretched into 5 films.
Fucking
Well,
okay.
it wasn't even like
I
a real
fucking-
book.
My favorite tweet of all time I saw earlier today is like J.K. Rowling be like, Hermione listens to Joy Division, and we're all just like, okay.
Yeah, pretty accurate. Okay, it sounds like we're done with the DC stuff.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
move on to something that I think it will pique our interests. This story started like a couple weeks ago because John Carpenter said, "I don't know, maybe I'll direct something." I don't know, or I'll just sleep. But then he gave an interview to BMD where he said a lot of things, a lot of things.
Yeah, he did.
He talked about the They Live sequel that is maybe not happening because Matt Reeves left to do Batman. I'm reading between the lines there, but
Yeah.
probably. And then Shudder is working on a Prince of Darkness TV series.
Okay.
So
Oh my god.
that's a thing.
Here's the thing
Yeah.
about John Carpenter directing. In a perfect
Yeah.
world, this is great news. But in the
It-
real
yeah.
world, where human beings have seen the last of John Carpenter's films,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Well, because he shouldn't be directing horror anymore. He should do what he originally wanted to do and direct westerns. That's what he should do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
that-
watch John Carpenter Western.
Yeah.
That seems fairly obvious to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
it would be akin to the Wild Bunch in my mind. Honestly,
I would
Yeah.
kind of like to see him do something like kind of low key, like The Thing, which it's this very isolated thing.
That too.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, like, I've heard nobody's ever told me The Ward was any good.
Oh God,
So,
no.
like-
That
But
is
like,
terrible.
I say that, but then like, Hateful Eight is like one of the. It's a spiritual remake of The Thing. And it's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is. If you made a Western with that sort of, even just like a mystery tone, like that would be interesting. But even just a straightforward Western, because that's what that's what he always wanted to do. That's why Assault on Precinct 13 exists, because he didn't think people would actually go to see a Western set in the Old West, actually. So he set it in the modern day, and he just made Crazy Kids.
He did Assault on Precinct 13. That's him.
Yeah.
Yes, the original.
Yeah, the original one.
Yeah.
And then there's
instead
the remake with
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke and Lawrence Fishburne and Maria Bello.
We don't talk about that.
Larry
don't talk
Fishburne.
about that
I've
one.
never seen it.
It's not
Larry
the
Fishburne.
worst.
I've just never heard anything good about that film.
I saw it in the theater.
I haven't heard it spoken about out loud in probably 10 years.
Yeah, well, I'm an old man, so.
Right, yeah.
Time
We know.
is passing me by.
I don't know.
But
for John Carpenter right now, like I'm probably imagining he's got loads of excitement inside of him right now because
Probably.
like his baby is back, and not only that, apparently it's awesome.
Yeah,
But in that same
fucking great.
interview, he was kind of like, it's a thing that's happening because he doesn't really have any control over it. Like, he's like, I tried to give him the best advice I could and lead him in the right direction, but it's its own thing now.
Yeah, but like that's still something that's the thing that made him famous.
Yeah.
And it has been dormant, and I'm sure if he had to look back on all the fucking sequels and then this one, he's like, yeah, I like this better. This is a good thing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Like, ask yourself a question. Do you think John Carpenter has ever seen The Curse of Michael Myers?
No.
No, I'm sure he actively avoids it.
Yeah.
No. Well, because a lot of those sequels go against his entire idea for the first movie.
Yeah.
The only sequel I think he approved of was 3, because that was his idea to do like an anthology thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I can't wait for John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars 2.
I don't want that at all. I want him to do a Western, or I want him to just do what he's been doing and just keep on doing music.
Yeah.
And I would like it if him and his son got to work on other movies also.
Yes.
I listened to a bit of the new Halloween score. It's
The one,
amazing that
Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross?
well, Carpenter apparently helped too.
Okay, and maybe I'm just thinking of something that I saw that Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did.
No, I think all 3 of them had a hand in it. But like,
Okay.
it's amazing that they can take that sound that is still very, I would say, 70s sounding, and just adapt it without any problems, like on screen now. It sounds awesome.
Well, that score, I think that score was so ahead of its time that it just still works, like, completely now. And there are moments in the movie where you're like, that's 70 as fuck.
Well, I'm specifically
so
referring to
70s.
like the non-Halloween themey stuff, like the dun dun, like the double tap piano sound.
Yeah. Yeah, because John composed it all on a keyboard originally. Yeah.
Well, like, let's boil down the thing real quick. That score is boom, boom.
That's the stuff that Carpenter did. That's we could do a whole episode on the score of The Thing and how weird and piecemeal that is, but the bump, that's John, and then the rest of it is Ennio, and then there's the stuff that got reused for Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Ennio
Morricone is my favorite composer.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Do a Western and bring back Ennio.
Yeah.
Fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Just like, it's right there. Like, if Jason Blum can't see this, and if he can't be like, okay, we will diverge from horror and make a $5 million Western, and just tell John, you have $5 million to actually make the movie, but you can make it anywhere you want. You can set it anywhere you want, and just do it. Just make the movie. Just
do it, man.
People will fucking see it. I guarantee it.
They'll see it just for the Carpenter name alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And Prince of Darkness is a show that's great because Prince of Darkness has pacing problems. serious pacing problems, and there's too much in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many ideas that don't really get to be fully explored in between John kind of doing a greatest hits movie, because that's kind of what it is.
Kind of is, but it's still a phenomenal fucking movie.
It is. It's still fucking great.
It's Alice Cooper stabs a person with a bike.
Yeah, what else do you need? What else is there?
Oh, yeah, well, Jet Li can smush guys with motorcycles.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm kind of disappointed he doesn't Hulk hand the motorcycles.
I agree, but it's still great.
But yeah, Prince of Darkness, I think, would be phenomenal as a TV show if it was handled by the great creative minds or right showrunner. Like it's like you just said, it has so much potential to actually expand on a lot of the ideas, and it just I just want more Prince of Darkness in my life. Like I need it. I need it.
I'll just take more TV horror.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well done TV horror.
Yeah. Because fucking, what is it? What's it? Channel Zero, Shudder's been putting all the seasons up, and the third season's coming on there very soon.
Wait, that's on Shudder?
And it's yes, it's on Shudder.
Fuck, I know what
First
I'm
two seasons
out
are on
of this.
Shudder, and it's so good. It's so good. It's the second season in particular is just heart wrenching, but it's amazing. So yeah.
Okay.
Shudder is producing good stuff, and I'm a big fan of what Crypt TV is doing.
Crypt TV.
Crypt
I've
TV has their
heard a
own
lot of
little
good
miniature
stuff, yeah.
monster universe they built over time, and it's some buck nutty monsters, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
One of them is like it's the Pied
yeah.
Piper, but he's a big floating skeletal wraith, and instead of kidnapping the children, he lures them away, basically brainwashes them, and sends them back to kill their parents.
Oh, so he basically turns them into like living bombs.
Kind of, yeah. And there's something else they created that's there's the Birch. I think, Arlen, you've seen the Birch.
Well, yeah, that's the short film.
Yeah, it's all these short
they
films that all
recruited.
exist in the same universe, apparently.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool.
There's another one that lives in mirrors, and basically it swaps places with you and then kills all your loved ones.
Mirror Master.
Oh, okay.
So that's the concept of Oculus, but okay.
Fuck that movie.
Oculus is fine. It's just
hate
the
that
ending is
movie.
very bad. Yeah, but you're really we might as well talk about this also. You're really liking House on Haunted Hill,
Yeah.
right? Or no, Haunting of Hill House.
It's great.
That show's great, but fuck Oculus.
I don't feel strongly about Oculus one way or the other.
I don't really like.
I thought it was okay. I didn't
It's
think it was
creepy
terrible.
at points. Some of the acting is good.
Yeah.
That's about it. I don't know. I think Mike Flanagan directs the fuck out of it, though. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm really high on him right now, and I'm more excited for The Shining than probably ever because of Haunting of Hill House. I keep on confusing with House on the Haunted Hill. I can see why they called it The Haunting
In all
for so many
fairness,
years.
the title is shockingly similar.
Yeah.
It is. I can see why they changed it for films because, yeah, that's a confusing situation there. But yeah,
Too
that
many
show's
goddamn
great.
H's.
It is a lot of H's.
It is. It's so many H's. Also, you can have the pun of Hell House at various points. So, yeah.
Okay.
Hell House.
Hell House. Yeah.
What?
Okay. So this is a story a couple years ago I might have been more excited for, but still. Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss are working on a Netflix show. A Netflix adaptation of Dracula.
Yeah.
I'm into this.
Is
Like,
Renfield
is it-
gonna be in it?
Is it going to be the proper time period type adaptation, or is it going to be a modern
I
context?
didn't see anything saying one way or the other. I'm assuming that this will be a lot like Moffat's adaptation of Jekyll, which they're making into a movie with Chris Evans.
Oh, that sounds
but if
awesome.
But if it's anything like that, it will be set in the modern times. In that he was Dr. Jekyll's descendant who somehow inherited the weird transformation thing.
Oh, he did a lot of
so-
cocaine. All right.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know if this would do the same thing, but it's them, and they're working on Dracula, and that will at least be interesting to watch. Even if you are like me and you recently decided, oh, I don't like these two as people. Well, more Moffat than Gatiss, but still.
Well, are they gonna hire Keanu Reeves to play Dracula now and have a switch of reversal of roles?
I approve this 100%.
What did you hear about Moffat? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, remember when Moffat was like, we still need to make Doctor Who for the Brexiters?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
And I was like, no, we don't, because the Doctor Who has themes that go directly against the very idea of Brexit.
And a lot of other people hated him for other reasons that I don't remember, never were very clear to me. But then that quote came out, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. He's probably a shitty person, so, yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if it's shitty. It just sounds like he's someone who just kind of... He's a habitual line stepper. Like, he'll be on one side or the other, and he never really wants to decide which one he wants to stay on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but could be interesting. Let's see. I am seeing... Okay, it looks like it will be a period adaptation.
Oh, I'm in.
Which, with Netflix's budget, that'll be great. And they'll probably stick very close to the book. So, yeah. I'm into it.
Does Hunter know his mic is muted?
I think he does. I think Archie decided to turn his mic off.
Drunk boy. Oh my god.
Drunk boy. So yeah, is that all we thought about Dracula, or did you have any?
I'll wait and see, but I'm interested.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say I've disliked a whole lot of what they put out. I mean, there's been stuff that I've been like, that was okay, but there's nothing I've outright hated. So, and I mean, I've only
ever seen Doctor Who from Moffat.
So.
Did you see Sherlock?
Yeah, I was in love with the first 2 seasons of Sherlock. I didn't watch anything else after that.
First episode.
Go back and finish it. Sherlock at its heights, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
That Jekyll show that I was talking about is really, really good. There was something else I saw of his that was also very good. But I'm excited for this. His scripts are always good when they're done and finished on time. But I don't know. It should be. It'll at the least it will be an interesting thing to see.
I mean, he's still responsible for one of my favorite episodes of television ever, which is Heaven Sent from Doctor Who. So.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite episodes of that show are all his. And then Mark Gatiss, he's worked on a bunch of other stuff outside of Sherlock. Also, he's also an actor. He was in Game of Thrones. He's the guy who runs the Iron Bank. Yeah. So, he's written some episodes of Doctor Who that aren't the best, however.
Was he responsible for the moon egg?
He might have been.
Oh, shame.
Do you remember the episode where the guy builds a machine to live forever, and then he turns into a weird, spooky monster dude?
Barely.
Yeah, he's responsible for that one.
Is it the creepy meat monster from the thing you showed me?
No, it's like this is an older episode, and it's from when they really didn't have the CG down at all. So it looked really.
I will say,
bad.
rewatching all of New Who, there's an adorable little process going on. We were like, hey, look at you, you're just getting your special effects now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, he's responsible for Night Terrors. That's the one where the kids' dreams come alive. So maybe he's not that bad. And Cold War, which is one of my favorite episodes. So I don't know. But, I don't know. Dracula could be cool, could be not. Do we want to go to the next one?
Yeah,
sure.
Which is...
next one.
Annabelle 3 will feature the Warrens.
That's cool.
Like, we didn't
I'm not
know
gonna
that.
watch it, but that's
Me, that franchise is dead.
That franchise is dead.
God, like, I heard as soon as I heard Juan wasn't on Conjuring 3, I was like, don't care.
Well...
Wait, he's not on Conjuring 3?
Nope.
It's yet to be seen.
Fuck this franchise.
But probably not. I don't know. I'll probably watch Annabelle 3 because I know that Vera Farmiga is in it and Patrick Wilson.
I think,
but
Conjuring 2 is
I don't know.
one of my favorite horror movies of like the last maybe 5 years.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like, why are they fucking it up already?
I mean, they've been fucking it for a while.
That's true.
I like
their
that
spin-offs.
Wan kind of just travels around Hollywood, like creating little horror franchises that he soon loses control of.
Yeah,
or he grows
he just
bored
leaves them
of.
to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I don't know.
The second Annabelle film was actually decent.
I heard
that
it's comparable to like Ouija Origins, which is in how much of a improvement it is over the predecessor.
Yeah. The second Ouija film is actually quite good. I really enjoyed it.
The only Flanagan film I haven't seen, actually. So but it's on my list. But I don't know. Annabelle 3, the premise did interest me.
What is the premise? Because I haven't heard really anything about it.
It's round 2 between that little girl and Annabelle from the first Conjuring. Annabelle gets out again, and that little girl, but she's a teenager now. She's like full grown.
Okay,
and it's her versus Annabelle.
Fight the ghost.
I know. I'm
probably
hoping for a fist fight.
at some point.
Look, ghost fighting pretty much only happens in Insidious. Okay, that's where you get ghost brawls.
Yeah,
well, it does happen in The Conjuring, but it's all like, I'm just saying Latin.
Like universe was like it was like the MCU with goddamn ghosts.
Yeah, no. My favorite thing about Insidious is that like it's never like, "Be gone, spirit." It's like Lin Shaye walks up and smacks one with a Quicksilver lantern, and it flies down a hallway 400 feet. Like it's the fucking coolest.
But yeah. Also, Annabelle's going to be releasing other ghosts. That's the other.
Sure.
So she's going to be like, because she's going to be unleashed in that room of like artifacts. So she's going to be like knocking over the monkey or whatever. We're going to find out what's going on with the monkey.
I'm going to see this movie now.
Same.
This suddenly got really hokey.
Basically, she's going to be the containment facility from the first Ghostbusters and just bust everything open.
It's going to be like Cabin in the Woods with ghosts.
Oh.
She's gonna team up with the Crooked Man, and
holy shit!
Yes, yeah.
I just find the
Valak's gonna show
up in the afterlife to be very bizarre. It's like, hey, what do we got in common? We're both dead, and that makes us allies.
Let's go.
Annabelle's a demon. Remember, that's why she teams up with Bathsheba in the first film, because demon
You're a
solidarity.
demon. I'm a demon.
Demons!
Look at
Yay!
That. We've got
also
so
Bathsheba
much
releases her, but yeah.
Why would demons ever team up with each other?
Because it's cool, okay?
Because they can accomplish something together and then can betray one another.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Venom and Sandman teaming up.
That entire line is solidified via like a single conversation in a fucking alleyway.
It's great. I love it. Oh god, it's
go get Spider-Man. Sandman's like, okay.
Maybe there's entire cutscenes of them eating pie together in a restaurant.
And they're both like so good, and they both just disappear behind moving cars.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where does he go?
I learned that from
I don't know why
that.
that.
No, so did I.
I really don't.
I like every time I see it, I have so many more questions than answers.
Like you can think it as like, oh yeah, Harry's fucking with Peter, but is he? Like,
or is he just living his best life?
Or is all Spider-Man 3 like a wild hallucination that Peter Parker's having because he's dying in the street from smacking his head in a pipe?
I would say either that or he's got some sort of weird alien cancer from the symbiote trying to bond with him.
Maybe. Yeah, I can see that.
The whole Spider-Man 3 is basically just Repo Men. It all happens inside your head.
That and him waking up on the side of the building is always the two scenes where I'm like, what the fuck?
But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, our final story, because we're just ripping right through them tonight. So that whole thing where Rambo was going to fight a monster, that is still happening?
Yes.
I don't believe
he just won't be called Rambo
at all for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's not. From the sounds of it, it sounds like it's not going to be Rambo. It's just
it's not.
I don't believe that someone walked up to an executive and said, I wrote a script that Rambo fights a monster, and that person went, give it to me.
I
100%
believe it.
No, it's based off of a book, apparently.
Yeah, and
Wait,
Stallone was
what?
100%
Fucking
behind it.
what?
Yeah, there's a book where there's a hunter who's hunting like a Bigfoot man thing.
Like
whatever.
primordial man type of thing.
And they were
Yeah.
just gonna slap Rambo onto it.
They were gonna, yeah.
What a
because
weird thing
Rambo
to
already
do.
exists.
Well,
I'm into it.
It was after the
But yeah.
success of the last Rambo film, and they're
Yep.
like, "Well, we got to keep this money train going somehow," and then it just fell
This
into production.
this
hell.
all sounds
Yeah.
like the fucking interdimensional cable from Rick and Morty right now. Like it sounds that silly.
It does.
We need
But I
Jan
mean-
Michael Vincent and Quadrin Michael Vincent.
Hey man, don't bitch about
sounds like-
Sylvester Stallone fighting monsters.
It just fucking sounds
Yeah,
like some
man.
weird stream of consciousness thing. Like, hey, you, what do you got?
It sounds like
okay.
the best stream of consciousness.
Rambo
Yeah.
fights.
Connor, when
What?
you hear
Well,
the
he won't be Rambo now. It'll just be Sylvester Stallone. That's the
So,
thing. That's the key
when
here.
you hear Rambo fights a monster, does that not fill you with so much delight? Like,
No, not
how
really.
does that
Like,
not
I don't.
make
I
you
don't want.
happy?
I don't want those two things to mesh. But I'm glad it isn't
The-
now, and this is just like something else.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
going to
but
be
it's still
Ron
Sylvester Stallone.
Jambo fighting these monsters.
Yeah.
Ron Jambo.
Where's the
Ron.
Is the sequel going to be called Jamboree?
God damn it.
I just really want to watch Sylvester Stallone punch a Bigfoot.
Same.
Yeah.
I want to see that very badly.
Burst
Yeah,
Flood, Jambo 2.
the name of the book was Hunter by James Byron Huggins.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
We all know that person.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. Ron Jambo.
I'm into it. Ron Jambo, the hunter of the beast.
Yeah.
Burst
yeah,
Flood,
it'd
Ron Jambo.
Yes.
It would be
That
great if
sounds
they
like a
went
fucking
that far.
anime title.
It does.
Burst Flood sounds like something that was translated. It also sounds like
Damn
a,
it.
it also sounds like a Pokemon move.
It
Yes.
does.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of these things. But yeah, I don't know. Sylvester Stallone's gonna fight a Bigfoot creature. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
gonna be like
it's-
Predator, but like
And let's
worse.
be 100% honest. It's gonna be him playing John Rambo, but it's just gonna be
Yeah.
a different character.
Oh, it's
Like-
Right.
like my name is Bruce all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like or JCVD, or not JCVD, the short-lived Amazon Jean-Claude Van Damme show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, he had an Amazon show?
I
Yeah,
thought
it
it was
is.
on
I'm
Amazon.
sure wasn't he playing a time traveling version of himself?
No,
No, he was playing a secret agent.
Yeah, and that's why
Uh,
all his movies took place all over the world, and then he
Yeah.
was trying
but
to.
mostly in Slovenia.
Wow, what a great show.
I watched the first 2 episodes. It actually wasn't
Yeah.
bad because it made fun of
the-
itself.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea was really good. It was like, because it does make sense why he's in so many Eastern European countries all the time, making these movies. Yeah, no, it fits.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it was directed by Peter Tensio, who directed all the Key and Peele sketches.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Yeah. So it looked gorgeous.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Those are the stories, guys. So
Man,
We did it. We did it.
we tore
we
through
did
'em.
it.
We did it even with delays.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want
All
to
right.
call an early one now that we've actually outdone ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah.
Unless there's
Hunter can take his drunk ass to bed. Like, joke's on you. I'm already there.
Yeah. Kinda.
Fucking wow.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, I've been Connor McGraw. I have some movie dumpster updates for everybody. We just recorded back-to-back days of Boo, A Medea Halloween, and Double Double Toil and Trouble, starring the Olsen twins. They both got awful, and I broke during the Olsen twins movie. And then after that is Night of the Demons. Then after that is the long-gestating Mortal Kombat Annihilation. So we have a shitload of stuff coming out.
Nice.
Awesome.
Lost Arrow Pod comes out every week. Doing our Halloween stuff throughout October. So look forward to our last episode of the month, which will be top 5 monsters. Yeah. And then this week we did supernatural stuff, like The Exorcist and Nightmare on Elm Street and things of that nature. So yeah, check that out. Yeah. Hunter?
Check out Lost Hero Games. That's launching literally in like 15 minutes, essentially. Check out the Monster Mash podcast coming in like 2 weeks. That's coming out then, and then that's really pretty much it. Like,
All right.
Don't follow me anywhere. Fuck you.
I was waiting for that.
I'm Eric Fedorchak. You can follow me at Eric_Fedor on Instagram with pictures of dogs and cats and food and comic books. I'm also on the Phantom Zone here, there, and everywhere, talking about all types of things. Most likely going to be discussing with people that don't want to understand things like jokes about pedophilia are not the same as being an actual pedophile.
Oh,
and and about how it's a real shame that Luke Cage got canceled. Also, as Teasel was coming through the forest looking for John Rambo, he heard...
Did you already name this thing?
No, actually, that was just off the top of my head. I just needed to find out what Brian Dennehy's character's name was. I just had to give you guys. I just had to give you guys the smallest breadcrumb trail, and it automatically went to the worst place.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, but at this point, all you have to do is the mere suggestion, and we're all like,
Yeah, because I was while you were giving your plugs, I was like, John Rambo /fic, nothing. John Rambo erotica, nothing. Like,
wow, you found it. You found the one thing the internet didn't turn to porn.
oh, I'm sure I can find it if you give me time.
I don't need you to.
Challenge accepted.
God damn it. Anyway, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Fuck Tyler Perry.
Netflix Marvel deals.
Fuck Oculus.